Howdy peeps, welcome back again. Hi, it's me, Lois, your favorite empowerment manifestation coach and whatever else you want me to be. Full-time van lifer. Welcome back. Thank you for joining my video. If you are new to this channel, hi, I'm Lois. As I just mentioned, I'm an empowerment manifestation coach. I also help people with past traumas, with anxiety, with stress, with all sorts of things, relationships, you name it, I cover all bases. And yes, as I mentioned, I'm a full-time van lifer. So there's a whole multitude of different playlists. You might want to have a little peruse. And if you are someone who would like to work with me, then my details will be in the drop box below. So yes, welcome. I would love it if you would like this video and maybe subscribe to the channel if you fancy it. If I float your boat, then come on in, you're welcome. But yeah, liking the videos really helps get them out. And the whole purpose of me doing this is so that I'm helping people out there. I'm not here to make any big bucks. I'm not here to like shake the world or be some kind of famous YouTuber. Fuck that. If that happens, so be it. But that's not what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting helping people to live the best lives they can. So this video is, as you've read from the title, understanding what self-concept is. And this is the fundamental, most important thing you need to do as a conscious manifester. Now, we have all been unconsciously manifesting our entire lives since the day we were born. Everything that we've thought and we've imagined and we've believed is projected out into the world and gets reflected back to us. So I'm not saying, by the way, let me just caveat this. I'm not saying that every experience that you've experienced, because some people have been through horrible traumas, myself included. And I don't believe that I attracted that or that I created that. Those experiences just happened. However, they can play a part in things about ourselves. So if you are new to manifestation, I would urge you to go and watch my other video. I'll put a link in the Dropbox below. It is called What is Manifestation and How It Truly Works. If you are new to this, that is going to help clear things up because there's a lot of misinformation. If you're someone that watches a load of different coaches on TikTok, you will know the fuckwits and the fuckery out there because they will have clickbait titles. And they will tell you, you can manifest fast. You can attract your SP today. Get a call in 24 hours. Bullshit. They're just jumping on the bandwagon and they don't really understand manifestation and how it truly works. They don't understand the absolute core essentials to manifestation. So stay tuned if you really do want to understand this and get a grip of this. There's a few other coaches out there who I really would recommend, who I align with, and I commend those. So yes, go and watch that video if you need to. If you are familiar with it and you are starting out as a conscious manifestor, or you've been doing this a while and you're getting really messed up results and you really just are sick of this now and you want to change, oh, you're in the right place, baby. By the way, I do swear, but the most honest people swear a lot. So if that doesn't float your boat and you're finding it a little bit offensive, then that's fine. You can click off now and no hard feelings. Send you my love and light. But if you're okay with that, then strap in. So this episode is about self-concept. What is it? Why do you need to do it? And why is this the most important part of conscious manifesting? Right. I have been my own guinea pig for a long time now, practicing and testing things out on me. And this is why I'm sharing all this with you. So most people will go straight to techniques because they're told, if you do this 100 times a day, you'll get what you want. To some degree, you will. But if your self-concept is a whole load of messed up chaos, you will get mixed results. And those things that you manifest won't last. Techniques really is the third step. So step 1, self-concept. Step 2, which will be in the second video, that's embodiment. And step 3 is then techniques. And this is part of my method, which is called Set It and Let It. Set stands for self-concept, embodiment, and technique. The let part is the live, enjoy, and trust. So, what is self-concept? It is what you believe and what you think about yourself. Hence why it's self-concept. It's the concept you have about who you are, your identity, your personality, who you are, how people treat you. Those are all the things that you have saturated in your mind, and you've now created this persona for yourself. And most, if not all, comes from our childhood. Because when we are a child, our brains are not fully developed. So we will experience things, could be on the surface, might not seem traumatic. Like maybe you got shouted at by a teacher. Some people, like myself, you can go through pretty traumatic experiences as a child, which are really, really quite distressing and damaging. And all those experiences, the information from our brains as a child cannot process it. So it sinks it into our subconscious mind. The point of a subconscious mind is it's to keep you safe, it's to keep you alive. It is your survival technique. So from the moment humans existed, we experienced things, and then we stored that information so that when we encountered something similar again, it would flag up and tell us, hey, last time you ate those berries, you shit yourself. Last time you went down that road, you met a dinosaur and it tried to eat you. So it creates that fear response. And fear is the most powerful emotion because it's designed to keep you safe. Because your mind wants to protect you. But it has that same reaction that it would have as you getting eaten by a dinosaur, the same way as you may feel about getting into a relationship or changing careers. It creates the exact same emotion and experience within you. And this is why we get so messed up as adults, because we carry all of that baggage from our past, all those experiences. We've suddenly conjured up all these stories about ourselves. We're not good enough. We're not lovable. We need to be people pleasers in order to deserve affection and attention and love, that we don't make friends easy, that we're terrible with money, that we will always be poor, that we're not successful, we're not intelligent. Everything that you've ever experienced as a child will get sucked into here. And then you create that as your personality, your persona, your version of self. That is your self-concept. And then we go about as adults and we live that life believing that about ourselves. We go around believing all this shit about ourselves. How crazy is that? And I bet you are someone, the way you talk to yourself, you would never talk to a best friend. You'd never talk to your child that way. And yet you are constantly shit talking about yourself that way. And that tells you how you feel about yourself, the beliefs you have about yourself, and what you have created for yourself in your mind. But the blessing about all of this is you are not the fucking monkey. You are not controlled by the mind. You are the observer of the mind, which means that any of these thoughts and beliefs that you have developed over the years, you can change. And you can change them right now. And I know that because I've done it. And I've seen many, 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 many people do it. So I know that this works. Now, some people will say, but you've got to do the healing work and do all this. And I did do that. But I'll tell you what, when you do the self-concept work, that is part of the healing. Because you are learning to not just let go of your past. Because if you want to live in the present, you've got to fuck off your past. When you let go of the past, that also means you've got to let go of that version of you, the victim state, the version of you who used to believe that she wasn't or he wasn't loved, that wasn't good enough, that wasn't intelligent, that was never chosen, that was abandoned, that was rejected, that was experiencing not nice experiences, that found it hard to make friends. Whatever the story is that you've told about yourself, you have the power to just drop that now. Sounds pretty unbelievable, but it's true. We have like, what was it, 80,000 thoughts a day or something like that? And not all of them solidify, right? They're just passing thoughts. They come, they go. We don't really give too much thought. But when we have a thought that triggers an emotional response because it relates to a past experience. So, I don't know, you go for a job, you don't get it. It triggers that wound in you that you're not good enough, you're not clever enough, that you should never bother because nothing ever works out for you. And then you spiral into that thought mindset. And then guess what? That gets reflected out to you by your experiences, by other people. Because it's also not just a case of how you view yourself, but it's also how you think other people treat you and how other people perceive you. Like if you've had an experience where, say for dating examples, you've dated certain people and you have a belief that, you know, you're not good enough, that you're not pretty or not handsome enough, and that, you know, they'll get bored of you because you're not fun and you're all these things that you've just made up about yourself. And then a few months down the line, that person dumps you and goes off with someone else. Now you have solidified that belief that you were right. You said they were going to leave you. See, I told you I was right. No, all you have done is you have just manifested that situation to convince you that the belief you have was right, but it's not. It's the belief that you have that created that situation. I hope that makes sense. Whatever you are believing, you are then creating, or not creating, but you are then getting reflected back to you. The whole of your 3D environment, the people around you, your experiences are a reflection of you, what you think about yourself and how you go out into the world. You project that out. People can only treat you the way you think you deserve to be treated. So, how do you change? The only thing to change is yourself. Don't start going around going, that person's horrible to me, and oh, this never works out for me, and I'm not lucky with that, and my friends don't care, and my parents are assholes. They're just doing whatever they're doing, but they're showing up the way that you are expecting it because of your beliefs. So the first thing you got to do is stop blaming everything else around you. Stop pointing fingers and saying they're doing this to me and that's happening because of this. Drop all of that. You then have to detach yourself from that old past version of you who has those beliefs. You cannot identify as the victim anymore. You cannot identify anymore as the person who is unlucky, who doesn't have good success with people, who can't make friends, who is silly, stupid, whatever you want to tell about yourself. They are all really shit beliefs that you need to just drop. Put it in the bin. You have to detach from that. Part of that will be, you've also got to identify where those beliefs came from, who put them there, why did you create them? What experiences did you have that suddenly you created this story about yourself? Because that's all it is. It's just a bullshit story that you've made up. So once you've identified that, that can sometimes be the process of letting it go. When you suddenly say, oh, I've had this belief my whole life because that's what my dad thought. Then you know it wasn't even your fucking thought to begin with. So let it go. That's when you can start to detach from that. You can start not identifying with that old version of you. Then you make a conscious decision, conscious, because you're allowed to, you make a conscious decision to decide who you want to be. How do you want to feel about yourself? What do you want to think about yourself? What do you want to be? What stories do you now want to tell about yourself? That you are in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, that you have the career of your dreams, that you make fucking shitloads of money every day, that you have an abundance of friends, that your family are loving, that you are safe, that you are secure, that you are fun to be around, that you deserve love because you do, that you are kind, that people treat you with respect, people love being around you. And you can only really get that reflected back to you when that is how you start treating yourself and how you start seeing yourself. People can only treat you the way that you believe you deserve to be treated. And I know we say, I don't deserve to be cheated on. I don't deserve to have this shit going on. No, you're right, you don't. But there is a part of you that still fucking believes you do. Because there is still a little part of you somewhere that is telling you, you're not good enough, you don't deserve this, you're not clever enough, this person doesn't want to be with you. And they will come up gradually over time. They will come up. And it's there for that reason. When you are triggered, don't run away from the trigger. Face that shit. Say to yourself, right now, I'm so fucking triggered because I believe that I've been rejected. And rejection sucks. But then you've got to step away. And I always say this one technique. It's called prat. You want to be a total prat when you're triggered. That is, you pause, you reflect, you acknowledge, and then you transmute. So in that when you're triggered, pause, take a breath, reflect on the situation, really understand what is actually going on right now in this moment. You are feeling rejected. They are not rejecting you. You are just feeling rejected. Why do you feel rejected? Because you don't feel good enough, because you don't believe that this person wants you, because you don't believe that you can have that job, because you don't believe that you deserve it. So then you acknowledge. You acknowledge, this is how I feel right now. I feel like shit. This is how I'm feeling. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. Don't blame anything. This is you. I feel this. So now I need to transmute that. I need to get back in alignment with the version of me who is loved, who is respected, who is valued, who can have that job, who is already doing that job, who has the successful career, who has the money, who has the dream partner, whatever it is you desire. You then get to align with that, and you transmute those negative feelings into positives. And you can do that through an affirmation, which is a type of technique, but you're simply saying to yourself, fuck this shit. I no longer identify as the version of me who doesn't feel chosen, doesn't feel good enough, doesn't feel worthy, doesn't feel loved. I know that I am now the version who is loved, who is respected, who is treated with kindness, who is treated with the utmost care, because I fucking love myself, and I know that that is for me, because I know that I am a good person, I am kind, I am loving, I'm considerate, I am worthy to be around, I am a great friend, I am a great lover, I am intelligent. You tell yourself whatever the fuck you want, because this is your life, it is your story, it is your thoughts, it is your brain. You get to decide what goes in there, you get to decide what comes out of there. Because what goes on in here also then comes out of here, and most of the time what comes out of here is utter shit. Because circumstances don't matter, because we create them. So when you are triggered, you're most likely to be reactive, which means you're most likely to verbalize this stuff and say, why did you do that to me? Or why did this have to happen? And in those moments, that is why you need to pause and reflect, because you need to understand that it's because of the thoughts you are believing. So when you identify this each time, and it is a process of constantly revising your story, constantly revising the thoughts you're having about yourself, and constantly reaffirming a different story, a different set of beliefs, a different version of you. You make that conscious decision every fucking morning, and you say, this morning, I am the version of me who is in a loving, fulfilling relationship, who has a ton of fucking money, who is in the most wonderful career, who is living their best life. And then you go about your day and you just keep reaffirming that about yourself. And whenever those little creepy thoughts come up that say, oh, you're shit, you're not clever, you don't deserve this, you stop, you pause, you reflect, you acknowledge, and then you transmute it into something more powerful, into something uplifting. You say, well, do you know what? The old me used to think I wasn't good enough, but the new me knows that I am, knows that I am worthy, knows that I am clever and intelligent enough. And you don't let the fucking fear grab hold of you, because you know the fear is keeping you stuck, not safe. It is an illusion. And this is the program you work through. And I would say, if you could do this for just 2 weeks, if you are already trying to manifest something, a job, a relationship, money, whatever it is, a new house, I don't care, and it's not going well for you right now, I want you to just drop it right now. Just stop thinking about it, stop focusing on it, stop fucking affirming for it, stop scripting whatever the hell you're doing, whatever techniques you're doing. I want you to stop. Just drop it all. It's not going to go anywhere. It's still there. It's still fine. It's still parked. Okay? It's not going anywhere. But by doing this, you might actually just make it come faster. Said the barmaid to the man with no trousers. Sorry, I have a bit of a naughty mind. So, 2 weeks. Just give yourself 2 weeks. And I want you to spend every day doing this routine. So, before you go to bed at night, you will say to yourself, I intend to wake up tomorrow morning in the highest version of myself, where I have this, whatever it is that you want, that you already have it, that you already are it, that I am the version of myself who is loved, cherished, respected, successful, rich, abundant, whatever you want to tell yourself. And you stick to that mantra before you go to bed at night. Then in the morning, you wake up and you affirm, this morning I have woken up as the version of myself who has ... or who is ... Then you go through your day, observing your thoughts, observing your experiences, and notice what thoughts come up about yourself and about other people. So if you keep saying to yourself, oh my God, my mum is such an asshole. She's always shouting at me. She never listens to me. She does all this. Well, guess what? That's what you're going to keep seeing in your reality. So change that. Make that conscious thought. My mum is always so considerate. She always listens to me. She's always looking out for me. She's so easy to talk to. She just loves spending time with me. Whatever you want to say. If your husband is just being a miserable asshole, stop affirming that he's a miserable asshole. Start affirming that, oh my God, my husband's just really chilled. He's really happy. He's really content. He's really satisfied. And we get on so well and we have such a laugh. You're not going to see the change immediately. So don't fucking look out into your 3D and go, where is it? I'm not seeing it. Nothing's changed. It's been 2 hours and fuck all's happened. Doesn't work like that, people. You do this every day. And whenever you get those triggers, whenever these things happen, remember to be a prat. Step away from it. You might react. Don't worry. You might get triggered by, a parent, a sibling, a partner, and you might suddenly go, you're a fucking asshole. I hate you. Why are you doing this to me? I've been there. I've done it. You can still step back and do the prat technique afterwards. And you can still get yourself back in alignment and come back into the version of you who has XYZ or who is XYZ. You keep coming back to that new version of you. You keep transmuting, which means basically transforming those feelings, those thoughts. You keep shifting them out of negative into positive. Every time you hear yourself going, oh, I'm so fucking stupid, you stop yourself, you catch it and you say, no, the old me might have felt that, but I'm not stupid. I'm learning. I'm progressing. I'm evolving. I'm growing. I'm developing. I am becoming. I am that version already. I am the version who is clever, successful, wise, respected, loved, adored, cherished. I am that version of me right now. I want you, if you can, to use your negative emotions to make you powerful. Turn that pain into power. When you are upset, I want you to become so fucking upset and angry that you suddenly turn that to your advantage, where you go from saying, why did they treat me like this? Why did this happen to me? Into, I don't fucking deserve this because I am the version of me who is loved. I am the version of me who is powerful. I am the version who is respected and cherished. And I know that I am worthy of love. I don't have to fucking fight for it. I don't have to people please to get it. I don't have to do all these things that I used to believe I had to do. It is freely given. You turn all of that into power. And when you do that every day, do you know what? I guarantee after even just a few days, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to feel more confident. Because listen, you can't have a shitty thought and feel happy. You can't have a happy thought and feel like shit. It doesn't work that way. Your thoughts create your feelings. So if you're thinking shit, you're going to feel like shit. If you are thinking good thoughts, you're going to feel good. And when those two come together, when you are in alignment with your thoughts and your feelings, you are now coming into alignment with the things you're trying to manifest. And you're not really trying because they're already there. You are simply aligning with the things that you want, your desires. When you suddenly start to solidify those thoughts and those feelings together, you are coming into alignment. And then you start to really believe what you're telling yourself. And you start to believe it because you're feeling it. The fact that you suddenly wake up one day and you suddenly feel more abundant and you feel more content and you feel happy and you feel loved and you feel cherished and you feel respected, guess what's going to happen in your reality? That shit's going to be reflected back to you. It might be your postman. It might be the lady at the checkout. It might be that person that you've walked past every day for the last year walking their dog who never says hello to you. And then suddenly one morning you get a good morning and you're like, holy fuck, they haven't spoken to me ever. And now they're saying good morning. You go to the checkout and the person greets you with, hi, good morning, how are you? And you've never had that before. You suddenly get a message or you suddenly get a text or someone rings you up that you haven't heard of from ages who says, hey, I've been thinking about you. Wondered how you were. Do you want to grab a coffee? You suddenly get job offers. You start seeing synchronicities and you start seeing things happen and change in your 3D. And then the most amazing thing happens. The thing that you are most desiring to happen, that also starts to transform. So if you are believing that you can't change anything in your life right now, that's the first thing that's got to fucking go, because you can. You are the operant power here. You get to decide who the fuck you are. Every day you get to decide that. You get to decide what thoughts you have. You get to decide what things you want to believe. You don't believe in fucking Father Christmas anymore, do you? If you do, fair play. Sorry, I might have just ruined that. But if you don't believe in things now that you used to believe, then you can stop believing in the bullshit that you used to believe about yourself right now. It's a choice. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is a choice. The more you start doing this work with your self-concept, the less triggered you will be, because you will stop seeing yourself as being rejected and abandoned and not loved and not cherished and not respected. You will see yourself in a much higher version of yourself and you will start to get results. I'm telling you, people, this is how you change. And I get quite emotional about it because this is what I've been going through for the last year. And only in the last month has this finally clicked for me. And I want it to click for you too, because I hate seeing people suffer. I hate seeing people go through the same shit I went through. I don't want you guys to go through that anymore. So, turn that pain into power. Change those thoughts, change those beliefs. You will change the way you feel about yourself, and everything in your 3D will change. And I promise you, that is when you can then move on. And that's when you can move on to my second part, which is embodiment. And I will leave the link to that in the Dropbox below, and maybe it will flag up at the end of this video. So I'm going to go and freshen myself up after that little emotional outburst. And I'm sending you love. So if you enjoyed it, please drop a comment in the box below. Give me a like I said, subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do, and come back and join me in the next video. Okay, I'll see you in part 2. Take care. Love you all. Bye.